Blarla. So this hub here, we're going to be calling Asheed. It's going to be called Asheed. This is the little forestry hub of Asheed. Love it. Love it. He moved in first, so he gets to name the place. There we go. There we go. She has moved out and got her own place. So she can now become the new part of our family tree. Yes, well done, Drew. Well done. Hopefully she won't die in childbirth like Vanna did. That was awful. That was really, really awful. And of course, because I'm not expecting deaths at the moment, I don't have the cemetery, so nobody can mourn Vanna. She never ever got a resting place. It's just the worst. It's just the worst, and that will really upset Drew. Saying that she's got 5 happiness, but our happiness is affected, and it will be because people are dying, and well, somebody died, and they can't. Oh, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. Right. So stone, as always. They're having to travel further and further and further for resources. Wood isn't too bad, is it? Wood isn't too bad. But we are now encouraging growth. It's a thing, which is why we're prepping another stone house. We really want this storage barn to go up so that food and such can be stored here. And it just means as well that this gatherer will only need to come to here. So we kind of want this to go up, but then it really is back to housing. So this has now got all of its resources. So we're going to unlock this so they can start pumping resources into this house while the builder gets on and builds this storage yard. I like as well that we can see here in the storage yard they have different sections of where they store different items, different types of resources. That's nice. I like it. I like it. I like seeing the foundations. Look at that. Almost looks like a stable, doesn't it? Inside where they keep the animals. And they obviously could store stuff upstairs as well. It's amazing. It's really, really good. It's a nice barn. Nice barn design. Well done. So you can see the resources coming into this stockpile here, which is wonderful. She stopped again. She's gone for dinner. Gone for dinner. Stone is still coming into here, but this is going up. It's going up fairly fast. We are on speed 5, I think. It's going quite nicely. No, we're not going to be building any of this anytime soon. So this is going on all right. This is our area of interest now, which is wonderful. There's our storage barn. Excellent. So we have our house here. We've gained another labourer, so we probably could consider, once the resources are in here, starting this hunting cabin. So it's also sort of producing jobs. The peeplings that are living in Asheed, something a bit more local for them. Which is it's important that the peeplings that live here will start to occupy these jobs because it's close. They want to be close to where they want to work close to where they live. It's important. I know, and it helps with just the efficiency of everything that you're doing. So that house is now being built, so we can continue to put resources. We've already actually put quite a lot of resources into the hunting cabin because of earlier. I wasn't paying it much attention, was I? No, I wasn't. We're going to need 32 stone for the cemetery, and I'm starting to think that after maybe I've built this house, I think we should build the cemetery. I think that's what we're going to do. This will help with the happiness as well. You know, particularly if we have any more horrible deaths in childbirth. You know, it'd be better if they had a headstone. I was really hoping that we wouldn't lose anybody while I didn't have a cemetery. I'm a little bit upset about it. To be honest. I keep going on about it. I mean, that's how you know how upset I am about it. Hunting cabin's going up. So we've got one builder who clearly can't decide, can't focus. We want the house first. If you're not sure what to do, builder, it's house first. It can be quite hard, can't it, sometimes, to see amongst all the vegetation. But we want the house first, builder. Where are you? Going to do this? This is very important. There she is. Well done. Oh, it's Ella. She's our builder. Fantastic. Ah, she looks just like her mum, doesn't she? Drew. It's just like her mum. Ah. See who moves in? Now, this is interesting. We've had... it's not a viable family. So that means I'm not interested now in building houses until this house is acceptable. So to make this house acceptable, because I can't cope with this, right? We will do things like this, and then we'll reclaim. Until we get a family that moves into it that can produce us babies. I will not be building any more houses until I am happy with the occupants of this one. And that's just the way that it rolls. So hunting cabin is ready to go up. So we could start sinking some of this stone that we've got here into the cemetery, because I have just lost interest in houses. This is no good. So what's happened here is this family has been split. So again, absolutely not. No. Let's have a look around, actually. No. So Curtis, a male, will need a home soon. So will Bold. We've got a lot of males kicking about that are soon going to need a home. So there we are. We have now got enough homes for our families. And Ella, look, has had a baby. There she is. Should we... This is crazy fast. Where is she? There she is. Look. Sicilian. Sorry, it's got an Ian at the end. There she is. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. So, what's going on here? Why have they not evened out? Do you not find that weird? I find that weird. There we go. I was about to say, surely they would even out. There we go. So we now have this hunting lodge working for us. And what this does is we're not going to be getting more food this way, because we're putting the same amount of manpower into these buildings, but they will be spread out a little bit more, which is wonderful. It's just going to be a little bit more spread out, which is wonderful. So all the resources are now in the cemetery here. So we're going to start getting resources into the forester's lodge. How many people do we have? Do we have 2 working? Yeah, see, look, we have 2 peeplings working over here. So one of them will move over to here and start dealing with this forestry area. And we've been moving the stone and iron out of it. So the forester can just get straight into planting trees and whatnot. And this should be producing fairly well. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all, really. Not bad at all. So our cemetery is finally going up. So we had 1 death before the cemetery went up, and unfortunately it was Vanna from our descendants that we're following. I can't believe it. It's just utterly tragic. And she doesn't even have a stone that we can go to mourn over her. It's the worst. It's the worst. But at least she'll be the only one that happens to. No others. Everybody else will be fine. Everybody else will be fine. So it looks like all the resources are now in the Forester's Lodge, ready for that to be built. So we can also do the same now for the woodcutter. So we're doing really well with Asheed, which is our second forestry hub, and then we've got all these sort of support buildings joining these 2 forestry hubs. And one day it'll also help join this other forestry hub. Just not yet. Just not yet. We're going to be... What we're going to be doing is once we've got this built... This is no good. No, Asheed. Like, you may be having problems at home. That's very, very possible. But that doesn't mean that you can just move out and occupy a perfectly good house. Move back in with your wife, goddammit. So, what will be happening is that we'll let this build up a little bit, get more peeplings working in these production buildings so that we have plenty coming in. While we smash through here and try and get a dock running up here, where we will also need, for minor support, it's going to need a storage barn and a stockyard and a couple of houses, at least 1 house for the trader to live in, you know. So we're going to be punching through here and trying to get to our first dock. I think there's going to be 8 docks up here, but we need to at least get 1 built as quickly as possible, you know. Just going to head over here, and we might put a couple of farms up here just to help bolster our food a little bit, but nothing crazy. So what's going on here? The cemetery is almost built. And the resources, oh, look at this, the woodcutter, excellent. Let's turn up time a little bit. We still haven't got a family yet, viable family for this house. So that's how we know that housing is going well at the moment. That's how we know that we don't need any more houses, because we're struggling to get a viable family in here. So once we do get a viable family in here, we won't be building a house for a little while. No. We'll leave it for a bit. So, do I want to put a woodcutter here? I'm not sure that I do. You know, we already don't really need these 2 woodcutters. But alright, we're going to put a woodcutter in each building. And I hope that we'll be able to get a bit of firewood over to this storage yard at some point. In fact, what we could do, just to try and encourage that a little bit, is turn that off. Just encourage these guys up here to do a little bit of wood cutting, right? Yeah. There we go. There's our forestry here. We want to cut and plant. And it's evened out our 2 workers, 1 across each building. This, again, Dylan So remove structure and then reclaim. And it just kicks them out. And our cemetery. Our cemetery. This is going well. This is going well. We are achieving here. We are achieving. There we go. So this little cemetery here will be able to house 16 graves at some point. Which is great. I'm probably not going to be able to... I was just wondering if I could... at least... get a path to that little entrance, you know? Like, we might as well make this look nice, right? We might as well. There we go. So once again, they're being very naughty with this structure. No, you cannot live there unless you're a viable family. That's the way that it works. And this house is for a new family only. I will not allow you to split. Ah! We have some firewood here. Excellent. So what we're going to do with this one is just turn that back on. So we've managed to spread out our firewood a little bit. So this is going well. We now have 2 forestry hubs up and running. We could do with having more workers. So we've got some students coming through. Look at this. So we've got 16 adults. We have 4 students and 11 children. Seeing sort of a high number of children like that is fantastic, you know, so that we know we're definitely in growth. And the problems we're having with this house also lets us know that we are right on top of our housing. You know, we don't need to be mass producing houses at this point at all. We are right on top of it. So this is sort of just ticking along, and as we get labourers, Jesus Christ, Dylan, as we get labourers, we can just fill out these businesses with more people so that we can get more food, because our food is a problem, isn't it? Our food is definitely a problem. In fact, I gotta be honest, I'm not terribly happy with the food at all. Shall we double our gatherers? So we don't have many labourers. We don't really need them at the moment. We can get rid of that builder. So we now have 2 gatherers per gatherer hut. And I'm very keen to get more hunters and foresters. I am. I'm very, very keen to have this. It's a focus. Now, we've got quite a lot of iron. We don't have masses of stone, and we've only got a couple of labourers. What we could do with these labourers, because of course I'm now interested in this tunnel, right? So what we might do is prepare for this tunnel. I'm going to prepare for this tunnel by gathering some stone. That's what we are going to do. We are going to gather stone. So we're not going to be aggressively expanding for the moment. You can get yourself into all kinds of trouble if you build too quickly. Likewise, if you build too slowly, you can get yourselves into all sorts of trouble as well. Now, I'm just going to slow down time for a minute, because while technically this... Oh no, it's not a viable family, is it? They're both male. I was about to say, I feel that this is a father with his children, you see. But the age gap does allow for that to be a viable family if they were opposite genders. So, what we're going to do is, as we always do... I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that it was a split family because of the nature of the setup. I am expecting... What am I trying to do? Speed up time, that's what I'm trying to do. I am expecting a fairly young family. 2 students or, you know, at least 2 teens to be moving into here because we're right on top of our population growth. I'm not going to be expecting to see a 30-year-old with a teenager. I'm just not expecting to see that at all. Because, you know, we're right on top of it, peeps. We're right on top of it. I feel like there's... Why didn't this cemetery cover this area here? Probably because of this well, right? We've got a well here to consider. Well, that's a good point, actually. We do have a well here to consider. Yeah. Look. Horatio. We've got guys trying it on with this building all the time. They are so very, very naughty. Aren't they? They are so very, very naughty. I am thinking that I don't know, do I want to see about punching through here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. When we do get through here, as you know, I'm going to be interested in dock. I'm also going to be interested in a town hall through here fairly quickly. The information that a town hall gives is amazing, you know, and I want that information. I definitely want that information. Will you give it up, Horatio? Just give it up. Just give it up. But for the moment, I think we're just sort of letting people get on with it, right? Just letting them get on with it. Because we still haven't got... And the tailor's almost there. The store closed, but it's not quite there yet. We're just having I think a sort of a calmer year where we're not busting our gut to get loads done, right? We're not busting our gut to get loads done. Just a calmer year. But do you know what? There might not be any harm in starting to get this tunnel going. Because look, it also unlocks all these resources, right? Also unlocks all these resources. And we are quite keen as well to get to this area. They're desperately keen to get to that area. So I've almost got the stone, there we go, to build this. So if we now get a worker in... Horatio! My goodness me. Will you bugger off? Right. So our tunnel's going to come through here. Which is wonderful. And then we're also going to sink resources into this well. As well. Excellent. Don't know how I feel about the hospital. I think I'd rather stockpile some resources, maybe. Tunnel's done. Tunnel is done. Horatio is being naughty yet again. He likes moving out, doesn't he? Oh, 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 well. Is she one of ours? Oh, that's Drew! Oh, fantastic. Hey, Drew. Long time no see, Drew. Building a beautiful well there. Gathering fuel. Oh, she was standing in the well. Right, Dandria. I'm looking forward to this house being settled so that we don't have this headache any longer. I really am. I don't want this headache anymore. And the well is almost done, which is also wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Which is great. Well, wells are great for houses. There we go. Another well. There we go. So it is going well, isn't it? So we're approaching the end of year 6. we cannot seem to get this house occupied sensibly. But that's fine. We will. It will happen. And in year 7, we're going to be concentrating on getting over here, getting to this dock, and doing a bit of planning. What I will do actually is probably between episodes is plan out this area, and I might even do a little bit of planning up here, because I'm thinking what might be nice up here is a couple of fields just to help bolster our food, maybe some wheat and apples, so that we have a grain and a fruit to go with our meat. That might be really nice. And you know, I wonder if we could get a fishing lodge up here. So I'm not sure. I feel fishing lodges will work really well along here. But look, got a big old mountain in the way. So big old hill. It's hardly a mountain, but a big old hill. So we would need to tunnel through that. So it's sort of puts it a little out of the question for the minute, really. But yes, so I think in year 7 we shall be concentrating on finally getting to our docks, because we want to trade. Yes, we do. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, please hit that like button. As long as you are here, why not check out one of my delectable videos available? Feel free to come stalk me on social media, and be sure to share this video with friends so even more may watch my schizwa. See you next time, peeps.